Hey guys, don't mind Bo drinking water. You hear him? I have a new recipe here I'm going to try out. I've got this, I've had this for so long, I don't even know. Creative Cook's Kitchen, maybe that's where it came from. It is a chicken and rice casserole. I'm going to give it a try. It has puff pastry on the top, which puff pastry is just delicious, so. So we're going to need rice. I have, the recipe calls for 2 cups of rice, so I cooked it in my rice cooker, and I'm just setting that aside. And we also need 2 cups of chopped cooked chicken. So you can cook the chicken any kind, any way you want. I'm going to bake it in the oven. It's just a real simple way to make it. Just put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. I preheated the oven to, 350. And I'm just gonna rinse, oh, I got vinegar in there. How'd that happen? The vinegar pot was closed. Anyways, I have the oven preheated to 350. And I'm just gonna season the chicken with some salt and pepper. Cover it with foil and bake it for 25 to 30 minutes until it's, cooked all the way through. In this bowl, we're gonna add 10 ounces of cream of chicken soup. By the way, this isn't a healthy recipe, just for the record. This can is double that, so I'm just going to add about half of it. And then a half a cup of milk. And this is kind of weird, but this is what the recipe calls for. 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. Mix it all together. I'm going to grab a pan to make this in. This one should do. I still have the tag on it. So it says to spray the pan with non-stick spray. In a separate bowl, we're going to add our chicken, which is still pretty hot. It's supposed to be 2 cups of chicken. I'm just going to use all 3 of these. Whew, hot stuff. It's nice and tender from cooking it the way that we did with the foil. Kind of just steams it, Cooks it perfectly. It's very hot. Into this, we're going to add, you're supposed to add a half a cup of chopped onion. But 2 of my family members are not fans of onions, so I'm going to leave it out, even though I bet it gives it really good flavor. Well, I'll put some onion powder. Not the same, but at least it will give it some flavor. You're also supposed to add a half a cup of chopped green or red bell pepper. Another thing we're going to leave out. We want 1 cup of frozen peas. That onion powder smells so good. I'm going to put a little bit more. I have some frozen corn. You guys think I should add that? I don't know. Yeah, why not? Since we don't have the onion and the peppers in there, we'll add extra peas and we'll add some corn. If I had some carrots already prepped and ready to go, I'd add those instead of the corn. Next, we're going to add our rice. So you want 2 cups of cooked rice. Now we're just going to mix it all together. Well, we're going to try to mix it all together. I'm going to break this chicken up some more too. This might actually be easier to do in the pan. There we go. I use jasmine rice, but the recipe just calls for white rice. I think jasmine rice is better though. Alright, we're going to have to mix this up once we add the soup mixture, so we might as well just do that now. Back you guys up. And we're going to add our soup mixture over this. We're going to add a 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar. Now we're just going to mix it all together. Now, you know, I'm thinking, my family really likes things like soupy and creamy. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to make another batch of the soup mixture and add that. That will be better. It will be, you know, creamier and have more like sauce to it instead of being dried out after you cook it, which happens with a lot of casseroles. So I'm just going to make another batch of the sauce, which is the 10 ounces of cream of chicken soup, 1/2 cup of milk, and 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. Then I'm going to add that. And then just top it with another 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese. So here we have, let me get the box so I can show you guys. Puff pastry. Ooh, I better turn on some light. So I have the oven preheated at 350. And you're supposed to roll this out, but I don't know. I'm being lazy. This actually is going to go on. We're going to pop the whole dish in the oven for 25 minutes. And then the last like 10 or 15 minutes, we're going to put the puff pastry on it. So let me get this in the oven. So with the puff pastry, you can do anything you want, actually. On the recipe, they showed that they made little leaves. So I figured we would do that. We'll cut out some leaves. I'm just flattening it out a little bit. You should roll it out, but like I said, I'm just being lazy. This is how not to do things, guys. Let's see. We'll do well, it's not a very good leaf. Let's do another one. There we go. And the leaf. Let's do a hat. You don't have to do any of this. You can just cut out random pieces. But it's much funner to do this, don't you think? I think so. We'll do some circles. Then the last, like I said, the last 10 minutes or so, we're gonna pop these on top of it. And there you have it. So, because I'm rushing this, my puff pastry isn't right. What you want to do is put your puff pastry on a sheet and bake it at like 400 degrees until it puffs up and it's golden brown, like 15 to 20 minutes. And then you can place it on top. But I just threw it on there. But there it is, chicken and rice casserole.